Good morning, everybody. It's December 30. We're almost to the new year. I had no idea I'd be working on this property, not into a house, working for over a full year out here. I stopped by the county and scheduled insulation inspection tomorrow for the house so that we can have that done. Not sure what they're going to be looking for. Hopefully everything will be all right. So yesterday I ended up not coming out here. Ooh. Mud, just getting it all over my shoes. It's still, it rained yesterday. I still got a puddle down there. It's mud. It's sticking to my shoes. Anyway, I intended to come out here and work yesterday, but Valentina and I went to Home Depot and was looking at stuff for tile and trying to come up with other ideas, and it was raining, so I bought some stuff, and the back of my bed now gets wet after they broke my tonneau cover. Water gets in pretty easily, so this is not good. This is wet. Whew. Alright, only this bag is wet. So anyway, I got some tools, some mortar, and some grout. I went and got another tool that I think I'm going to be needing, because I think about it's not just this house. There's a lot of things that go in this house that I will use these tools for, but then I also have Bren and Nicole are building a house and are going to, so they'll be can use some of my tools, the ones that you just don't use all the time. And then when we build this house over here, I'll be using this stuff, so it's not like a one-time use. Anyway, it's a level. I want to do a good job. It's a laser level. I want to try to do my best to get my tiles straight all the way around and all that stuff. So that's the plan. So I want to get all this into the house. Hopefully this isn't too wet. The towel is a little bit damp. I had that towel in my truck. I was like, oh boy, how am I gonna... I thought it was going to be done raining by the time I bought this, and it wasn't. So I didn't know. Anyway, I had that towel in my truck. I was like, oh, I can cover this. As I'm keeping everything real, you're going to see something that I would really rather not show you guys, but it's a learning curve, and maybe you guys will think about if you were ever to do something like this. Now you'll know this is a possibility. I don't know if it's the temperature or what, but this cracked. It's got cracks all over it. It's not good. I don't know what we're supposed to do to keep that from cracking. If it had too much, all we used was the Portland cement. Maybe it needs some regular concrete in there that has the rock and stuff to keep it from cracking. We had the heater running on in here when we were putting it in, and then the heater off, and it got cold. So maybe it got cold too fast at night. I don't know. Valentina doesn't even know about this yet. I'm going to take a picture and send it to her, but we're going to have to figure that out. And thank goodness that wasn't our finished product, or intending to be the finished product. We were going to work our way all the way up a thin like this, and then go over the front of it with a final finish. Whew. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and bring that stuff in for tiling, and then Valentina and I change the format of how we want to do the tile. Now we've decided we're going to take this tile and we're going to put it only on that wall. Then we're going to take the large format tiles, the big ones, go here and on this floor all the way around. That's the plan. So I need to cement board this floor today and bring stuff in, and other projects too. I still haven't plugged the holes underneath in the crawl space that I wanted to work on. So there's definitely things for me to do. All right, let's get to work. This is one of those frustrating days that's spinning my wheels and not getting anything done. first of all, I sat here and looked at this for a while, and I called the family, and Valia and I think what we're going to do is we're going to put this OSB up here, seal it against here, and then I'll take 2x3s or something, or 6s, whatever, and drill into here to reinforce all the way across so this won't bow. And we will fill it with concrete instead. And then after that, we'll do just small sections like this all the way up. And then once that's done, then we'll do a thin set of just a smooth surface on the front of it. Hopefully that will work. And because this worked really well on the floor, didn't crack, no nothing, and maybe that's what we need for going up this. And I was going to have to staple all this, but now if we're going to come out the whole width of this 2x3, then it's not necessary. So I'm studying on that and thinking about it. Then I cleaned all this area over here on the other side of the by the bathtub, because I was going to do Backerboard on the floor. So you can see I've cleaned. There's a lot of debris and stuff like here. I took the leaf blower. First I took the broom and I swept really well around here. Then I took the leaf blower and I blew out the tub. I blew out everything and blew it over there. Then I took a scraper and found a couple places on here, scraped them up that had some stickies on it. Then I cut my first piece. Part of it broke off. I was disappointed about that, but I'm like, fill that in caulking, whatever. And grout and tile, all that's going to cover it. So I put this down, and as soon as I put it down, I thought, I wonder if I'm supposed to seal the OSB. So I looked it up, and it's suggested that you do that, especially in wet areas. So I'm a little bit confused on stuff because Valia and I have done tile and slate work before, and we just put Backerboard and just mudded it and put tile on it, and it was fine. Now I'm starting to read that seal the OSB before you put Backerboard on it, and then you're supposed to tape all the seams and waterproof those. Then I Googled and asked, do I need to seal the Backerboard? And it says, no, it's waterproof. It's made to be waterproof, so it shouldn't need it. And tile is made to adhere to it, and the mortar is made to adhere to it when it's wet to make that seal. And that's what I was thinking. And then it says, however, in areas that are really wet, like your bathtub, it can be a good idea to seal the walls with a sealant before you mortar. So I don't know. Hopefully the sealant still allows the mortar to adhere to it. So it looks like we're going to spend, I don't know how much sealant costs, but we're going to be spending some money on some sealant, because this is the bathtub area. This is North Carolina, next to South Carolina. It's very humid. It gets wet all the time out here. It rains year round. And this will be all hot and humid in here, even though we have a window and a fan, and it's still, and an exhaust for the dryer. And I just still feel like we should take every precaution while it's open space and you can seal it. So anyway, my point is I'm spinning my wheels today. I got everything clean and prepped, and then it's like, oops, so I got to back all these screws out, take that off. I don't know if I mentioned I have an installation inspection tomorrow as well. This might be the first time I don't clean up the work site for that. Anyway, I did buy tape that goes on all the seams, so I'm going to get that out and see how that plays out, how that works, and try working on that really quick. Alright guys, this seems to not stick great, but I think it's going to be okay. And I'm guessing the purpose of this mesh is to just give something where the Backerboard meets each other. There's a gap and there's nothing behind it. It helps to keep the mortar from going through and falling through on the wall. It gives it something to also bond to the mortar. A little something like that. I was trying to think about, I think this roll has 150 feet of mesh. And I was trying to think in my head the math. And there's no way, because I have so many pieces, I don't know how much it's going to take. So I just bought one. We'll see if it covers everything. I think it should, but if not, I'll have to buy another one. All right, that wasn't too bad. That went pretty fast. The corners were a little bit challenging. It's funny how sometimes like the stuff doesn't. It's very hard. You have to cut it with a razor blade to get it disconnect. You can't just pull on it or pull everything apart. Does not do well going around corners, as you can see. It came off here. It doesn't stay stuck. And those kind of corners are hard to make sure you kind of stay in the center. But the flat lines, they're pretty easy. And I tried to overlap a little bit so it's intermeshed. So I didn't know exactly what was the purpose of these, and I wasn't gonna of this tape, this mesh tape, and I wasn't even gonna do the corners. This one has a 2x4 going all the way from this whole corner, so it's not like mortar's gonna seep through and go somewhere. But I think that's kind of what the purpose of it is. A couple 2-fold, 3-fold, I don't know. But what I'm gathering is that mesh tape keeps mortar from squeezing through too much and falling in the walls. And then what it also does is it acts as kind of a bonding, where it's it's turning your 20 pieces of Backerboard into one to a point, and pulling it all and connecting it. So when there's tile laying across this, it's connected to this is connected to this, and it kind of brings all the joints together, brings everything, and just reinforces it a little bit. I think it could go either way. You could do it without it. I don't remember using it when we did our house in the Sacramento area. We were very naive back then. It was 20-something years ago, and we just did the best we thought we could, and it's still there. That's why I'm saying I don't think it's a huge deal. But we're building this house. We want it to last. We don't want to encounter problems later, so might as well go the extra mile, do the little extra things that could make a difference. So I did every seam. I wasn't going to do the corners, but then I had plenty of tape left, so went ahead and did the corners. And then once we do the floor later on, I'll probably go ahead and do that, because look, this is 150 feet and I got a lot left. So I had no concept of what 150 feet was, because I had so many tiny pieces. I was like, oh, I don't know how much it's going to add up to. So I may have enough left over to do another project someday. What I decided to do, because I am having the inspection tomorrow, I wasn't going to clean up, but I guess it's in my blood. It needs to be cleaned up. So I am going to, I already started stacking everything, kind of clean everything up. It's not even close to perfect, but at least it's not going to be a mess. And to be honest with you, I like these little resets here and there, because I don't like working in a mess. It gets overwhelming. There's just junk everywhere. I like working in a clean environment, so it kind of helps me out too. So there'll be stuff left here and there all over the place, but basically kind of getting the floor cleaned up and just organizing things and putting them in their place. So that's what I'm going to do for right now. And just basically back here in the bedroom and the bathrooms for right now. Then I've got a new challenge up here, as far as I'm probably going to proceed forward and coming up with some solution that we are going to do here. And then and I'll organize some of this stuff and just clean it up, make sure it's not a disaster over here. All right, guys, this was my original idea. The Valentina was thinking we didn't need to go that thick, and she only wanted to do a small thing, but you guys saw it this morning. It was cracked and stuff, so now we're going to do concrete all the way up. And then this will hopefully hold it from bulging out. And then we'll do a smooth something on the outside. Worst case scenario, it's going to look like this floor, and I honestly that's not a deal breaker for me. It doesn't look like smooth or finished, but we could probably figure out how to sand it, and it would look just fine. But we're shooting for this really refined, smooth look. But hey, that's a professional's job. That's something that people probably that been doing it for a while will tell you that's kind of a hard thing to do. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, I created this, and hopefully it doesn't give out. I know concrete can really push out. Anyway, that's what we're doing. And then I've been sweeping all over the place and kind of pulling things together. Got a pile here. Went and got a new bag. That bag is full out there of garbage. And probably leave all this. But at least it looks a little cleaned up now. Alright guys, it's time to go down under, mate. I'm not making that, it's just an accent, I don't know. I gotta go down under the house. And I'm gonna go in and find all those cracks and things that I feel like need to be filled. I've got up to 1 inch gaps and cracks, and over 1 inch. I'll kind of take a glance at everything and see what I'd rather not open both of these. They each come with an extra straw, but it'd be nice to not have to do that. And then I got some caulking over here too, so if there's something just really small, I'll go ahead and fill with that. Alright, let's go underneath the house. So the one thing I've been questioning is if I need to seal around these vents better. I'll take you outside later and show you. The siding, the Tyvek goes over the outside lip, and the siding goes down over it. So, and then there's a lip around on the fan on these that go all the way around as well. And I have caulk down in the sides of them. So I kind of think that it's not going to be necessary. I don't think it's really possible to do anything. But I'm going to go after this kind of stuff. Probably not necessary, but just going to seal it better. Sometimes you get these that kind of crack, so I'm going to fill in that because I bought this concrete silicone filler and sealant, so I'll use that around on some of these spots here. We're on a little trip here around inside. That's only 1 inch maybe, so the one that I have for 1 inch up to 1 inch, I had a piece of foam fall out, or insulation. Let's see. Alright, that's less than 1 inch around. I mean gap. There's a thing for caulking. That's pushing it, but I could still do that as 1 inch. Pull that down a little bit. Alright, so I don't need the one that's up to 3 inches. I'm just going to use the one that's up to 1 inch, not the over 1 inch one. See how this goes. Well, that's not bad. I'm going to try not to touch this stuff because when I've touched it, it's so sticky. It stays on my hands forever. That's for up to 1 inch, so hopefully it doesn't expand too much. I think it's pretty crazy how it doesn't seem to be sealed. Oh, he did use some gel stuff out there, and it's just transparent so you can see. I want to go. You know, in case something gets through the first part of it. That's why it can't get in here. I won't have creatures moving in to the inside the cinder blocks either. Yeah, I think that's good. I think this is going to be a caulking one. It's got Not a huge gap around it. I probably could have done foam, but it's good. This one's the big kahuna. I don't know if it's going to work because it's going to fall in the center block. I don't want to touch this stuff. Alright, good now. Hopefully that'll just dry up and be okay. I don't want to touch it. Alright, cool. Get things sealed from the inside. Alright, try as I might. I tried to keep the stuff off my hands. I took my Gorilla cloth. I took a couple of these with me underneath and trying to keep my hands clean. And I was carrying stuff up and coming up, and the tip of the caulking touched my camera. Got all over in my camera, so I've been cleaning everything. I don't know if this is going to work, but the one thing I don't like about the spray foam is I've never figured out how that after you use it once, you can keep it good still and use it again. So what I did is I took this straw thing off, and I blew on it a couple of times. I let it go a little bit, and then I blew on it again and blew stuff out. Same thing with the little nozzle that goes on top. I unscrewed that, blew on that, and blew stuff out. Then I put that nozzle loose in here and put the lid on it, and then little duct tape this back. Hopefully next time I can still use it. I have just the stuff's all over the place. And then I have that one that I didn't open. That one's interesting because that one has 2 straws. So if you don't use, that one has 2 straws. If you don't use it, if you use it but you have stuff left over, you can always use the other straw. This one only came with 1. So anyway, okay, so underneath, down under is all done. And tomorrow they'll be inspecting, and part of the insulation inspections down there underneath. It's just after 3 o'clock. I'm heading Home Depot to get the sealer for the OSB and the Backerboard. And so I had to leave early. I'll see you guys the next time I'm out here.